All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, the great millstone who rule well, and salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatir from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And found this on my feed, and it's about this little mommy you see here. She is in a situation that now she's possibly looking at the death penalty. So we are going to watch this video and then we'll get some scripture.
Breaking news. A British influencer's Brooke George is facing a murder charge in Dubai. Brooke George's luxury Dubai getaway has ended in a shocking murder case that could cost her life. 23-year-old TikTok influencer Brooke George is facing a murder charge in Dubai after allegedly stabbing fellow Brit William Treby to death inside his apartment. But Brooke insists the fatal encounter was an act of self-defense. According to campaigners and her family, what began as an online romance quickly turned into a nightmare. Brooke claims Treby became controlling during her second visit to Dubai, allegedly taking her passport, preventing her from returning home, and subjecting her to violence. The situation reportedly reached a terrifying climax after a night out, when Brooke says she was attacked inside his apartment. Fearing for her life, she allegedly grabbed a kitchen knife and stabbed him during the struggle. Afterward, she recovered her passport and attempted to flee the UAE, only to be arrested at Dubai airport before boarding her flight. Now, Brooke remains behind bars as investigators examine the case. Breaking news.
Now, when I first heard this, you know, of course, the female is always going to claim that it was self-defense. But then you have a situation where this chick is trying to pack up, leave Dubai, and go back to the UK and not inform police. Like, if this was truly an act of self-defense, why would you act in a way that it seemed premeditated? That's what I'm thinking when I hear this story. Two, TikTok influencer. Now, we all know that many of these chicks are broke, all right? And you're talking about going to Dubai. She didn't pay for that trip. She paid zero for that trip. And she's staying at a luxury apartment by what so-called with her boyfriend. Now, I always say, these stories, you usually have to wait a couple of months and then you'll hear the truth. Now, according to this story, this woman says that this man became, I forgot the terminology that used, but abusive or controlling or aggressive, whatever the case may be, tried to take her passport. Now you have to ask yourself, okay, if this man and this influencer chick are an item, okay, most likely he flew her out to Dubai. She's staying at a luxury spot. She seems to be well taken care of by this guy. So you have to ask yourself, what could possibly happen that this man would so-called now turn to be aggressive or controlling? Now, when you see this woman in this video, I'm turning the volume down so you don't hear her. Now, when you see this woman in the video, all right, she got the eyelashes, the lipsticks, the filter, the hair, the provocative out tattoos on the titties. Her whole demeanor does not. Her whole demeanor says, "I am not wifey material. I like to get around, or I have lots of guys that I could choose from." And in order for a guy to be this way. I'm not saying that it is, but 9 times out of 10, it usually is. This chick was probably doing something with another guy. I guarantee you. Look at her look. She thinks that she's the best thing in the world. And see, the scripture talks about that where it says, it's in Ecclesiastes. Haughty. Okay, Ecclesiasticus 26:9. And it says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Okay, let's look at her again. Look at that. Got the cumbrellas, dark eyelashes, lipstick, hair done, tattoos on the titties, provocative Wonder Woman outfit. All right. She's ready to go. She doesn't strike me as somebody who's ready to be wifey material. Okay? She's trying to be out in them streets. And see, it's one of those things that I don't know how long they were going out or whatever the case may be, but I like to, one would think that they had to have been together for some time, because it doesn't say how long they were together. You just hear that it was the second time he done flew her out to Dubai. So there has to be some type of, they have to have been together for some time, even if it's like 5-6 months or so, something like that. And maybe this man was under the perception like, I'm flying this chick out to Dubai. I kind of like her. Hey, man, we should be an item. But she's like, nah, I got tons of guys like you. I'm just going to have my fun, though. And I'm sure once, like I said, I can't prove it, but I'm sure once that, how do you say, once that situation was expressed or felt, I'm sure that's when his demeanor changed. And unfortunately, his his choice in dealing with women has put him in the spirit world. All right, because we and here in Great Millstone, we always say you have to vet these women accordingly. All right. I know there's a scripture with that. Hold on for one moment. All right, here it is. 1 Peter 3 and 1 Peter 3 and I'm going to do 7. It says, likewise, I'm going to just get straight to the point. 1 Peter 3 and 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them meaning women. All right, when you choose to find a woman, go into her, make a household, a family, all that good stuff. So, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. According to knowledge. It does not say deal with women according to your feelings and according to love. Because we see what women do to men who are in love or nice or overtly caring or like to so-called cater to their woman. Okay, we see what happens. It's not to say that women can't do that to a guy that actually has some sense about himself, but the thing is, if you're a man that has this knowledge, wisdom, and understand the Bible, even if you have a halfway decent one, the scripture always says, it says, marvel not if she trespass against thee. Ecclesiasticus 26:11. And it says, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. All right. Meaning if you do find a chick, as I said before, meaning if you find a chick that's halfway decent, you know, you still have to deal with her according to knowledge. You still have to understand, as when you go back into that First Peter 3:7 is going to explain. It says, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. All right. You have to understand that men and women were built different. The woman is strong in her role. She is not strong as a man. Therefore, you cannot hold her to the standard of a man because she cannot portray the true qualities of a man. She can mimic certain things, but she does not have the qualities of a man. Okay? You cannot expect a woman to be respectful to you like a man would be respectful to another man. You can't expect a woman to be loyal to you like a man would. And I'm not talking in some P. Diddy homo style. We're talking about like man brotherly love. Okay? You cannot hold a woman to that standard. They were not meant to live up to that standard, though they have a standard as a woman to live up to, and that is to respect their husbands. And honor them because they are the head. See, this man did not use wisdom. He did not exercise the knowledge of the Bible. He got with this chick because she was nice looking. I mean, I give it to you, you know, she's not horrible looking, especially I think they had one where she wasn't all, you saw like a brief clip where she wasn't all dolled up and stuff. You know, she wasn't too bad looking. You know, I can see why he liked her when she gets herself dolled up, you know, getting her little risque outfit. Okay, shoot it. I go. But in dealing with this chick, you know, things happened where it seems like he really cared for this chick, or he got frustrated with her acting like an imbecile. And because of that, this is the result of dealing with women like this. 1 Ezra 4:25. It says, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father and mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits, going crazy, or just got fed up for women, and became servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. And that sums it up. He's in the spirit world, and now she's in Dubai being held on murder charges, and she's in the land of Ishmael. You know, they're not as lenient as they are here in America. I mean, if this was in America, decent looking Edomite chick, you know, they'd be like, oh, well, you know, maybe he was abusive. Maybe he was just obsessive. Maybe he couldn't just accept her lifestyle and be who she wanted to be. You know, basically accept her being a hoe and being loose. See, if they were over in America, that shit would fly. But they in the land of Ishmael, so I don't know. I actually want to keep up with this story to see what happens because hey, these other countries do not play around. Look how they take stealing. Look how they hold stealing in regards when you go to these other countries. That is a highly offensive crime to steal from somebody. You will get your ass whooped and then go to jail and be held. And either if you happen to get let go, you're going to pay a hefty price, or they're going to keep you there. All right? Look what happened to the well, who was that? That butch bitch that played for the WNBA. See if they ain't playing over there. See if they playing over there. It ain't looking good for the TikTok mommy, but this will definitely be something to keep an eye on and see what the end result is. But nonetheless, I hope you all were edified. To the next time, we're going to say shalom.